Two of the throws for the end zone. Touchdown. Parker. Lift off by Xavier Howard. Tagovailoa trying to make up for it. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown. That's hard work.
What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason. I'm joined by Dame Dees. How you doing, Dame?
Fans up. What's going on, brother?
Bro, I had to bring you back on today because, I mean, as everyone knows, we got the roundtable coming on tonight with Doug Lee, Dante Colinelli, Kevin Dern, Paul from On the Fin Side, Mr. Ballgame. So I wasn't expecting to go live, but some names just dropped. And Damien, there's some college names involved. There's some names we're familiar with. We're talking about one really, really intriguing name that me and you are going to talk about. That I don't think I don't know if I saw anyone mention him. Actually, there's two names I didn't see a lot of people mention out of all the names that came out. So we'll hop right into that. Before we give anything away, though, Damien, your initial reaction when you saw the list.
I was excited about one that we've talked about before. I was real excited because I know that it could be a tremendous help to Tua. And the other one that I saw, I was very intrigued by, just thinking of all the possibilities of how our offense could open up. And especially this guy's specialty, it could only further the passing game because it would open everything up and give a lot of freedom to the passing game.
So, guys, here is the list officially that was tweeted out by Ian Rappaport just about an hour ago. Sorry for being a little a tardy, guys. I was waiting on my thumbnail, which is up now. So the Dolphins list of candidates for the open OC job are as follows: Clemson offensive coordinator Tony Elliott, Chargers quarterback coach Pep Hamilton, 49ers run game coordinator Mike McDaniel, Steelers quarterback coach Matt Canada, and Dolphins running back coach Eric Studesville and quarterbacks coach George Godsey. All right, Damien, let's hop right into it. Okay, let's talk about the name that intrigues me and you the most out of this list, because there's some names here you guys have heard us talk about already, but the one that intrigues me and Damien that we were just talking about while we were waiting on that thumbnail, Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, man.
With the 49ers, I mean, look at what they've done with that run game. I mean, say what you said, Damien, in terms of when you talk about the looks and the different personnel packages that they show with their running game compared to the rest of the league.
The different packages, personnel, how they get different players involved. Just think about how they use Debo. Even Ayuk, the other receiver, they use so many different formations and get so many guys involved. The only team that does that more on a higher level is probably the Baltimore Ravens. Like they confuse defenses, and it opens up everything in the passing game because they could have how they have Debo lined up in one position and have him coming across in motion. It totally confuses the team because at any moment Debo could get that ball and go, or he could come out of that formation and then shoot off into his route. It's very interesting how they just use different formations inside of that run game to open up the whole offense. I could just imagine how that would help Tua.
Yeah, I agree. And here's my other thing I gotta ask you. Matt Breida's on the team. Do you think he would have given a nice endorsement for him?
I'm pretty sure he would. Because look at Breida. Breida really excelled in that offense, man. And I'm looking at weapons. Could we sign Jakeem Grant now if we was to get this guy? Because what he could do with Grant, or just imagine us drafting I don't know, Waddle's coming back, but a Rondale Moore. Having him on jet sweeps, or Lynn Bowden, how you could have him in the Wildcat in the backfield and all these different formations, how you could have him throw out of packages. It's just the possibilities are endless, man.
Yeah. So All right, let's keep going here. Let's talk about some other names because, guys, Mike McDaniel, if you didn't know, he's currently the run game coordinator of the San Francisco 49ers. He's been an assistant coach for the Atlanta Falcons, the Cleveland Browns, the Washington football team, the Houston Texans, and the Denver Broncos. Outside of being, when you want to talk about other positions he's coached specifically, other than he's been an offensive assistant, he was a wide receivers coach when he was with the Browns and he's with Washington. And again, if you go all the way back to 2009, and I know you're going to remember this name. Do you remember the Sacramento Mountain Lions?
Excuse me, repeat that again.
You remember the United Football League?
Yeah, I remember UFL.
Okay, he was in the UFL. He was a running backs coach in the UFL in 2009 with the Sacramento Mountain Lions as well. So he's been around, and I think this is, Damian made a lot of good points. Here's the other thing. You got to wonder, bringing that kind of run game and that kind of, here's the thing that kind of surprises me. If you're going to go run heavy, or like if you're looking for guys who can give you something with the run game, I'm surprised Anthony Lynn isn't on this list. So
yeah,
it's interesting. All right, so let's keep it rolling here. Let's talk about let's quickly talk about Matt Canada. Now, this is probably the least guy I'm excited about. If people, I know LSU fans are not fans of this man by any stretch of the imagination. After his 2017 2017 tenure with them as their offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach, he didn't do that good of a job, and then he went over to Maryland right after. You know what? He was just hired by the Pittsburgh Steelers. You look at him: Pitt, NC State, LSU, Maryland. This is one guy that I'm not overly excited about. It doesn't really intrigue me. This is probably the least likely candidate, and it sucks because his last name is amazing, but it is what it is. But you look what he did. He just didn't, the college game. He didn't really have a stellar college career. Just bounced around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think that would be the name. And so that's why I just wanted to get it out of the way for us. Your thoughts on him, Damien?
I'm not overly impressed with none of the offenses that he's been a part of. I mean, could he transcend into being a different type of play caller and coordinator? Yeah, I mean that always can happen, But I'm just where we're at now. I don't want to take that chance with this young quarterback that we have.
Yeah,
I just can't take that chance.
Yeah. Okay, so let's keep it rolling here. So another in-house candidate that I guess, we should have probably brought to light, Eric Studesville, the running back coach, the running back coach. If people want to know, he's just really, he's the interim head coach in 2010 for the Denver Broncos. He came back to Denver in 2017 as the assistant coach and running backs coach. Basically, he's been a running back coach almost everywhere he's been, whether it's the Bills, the Giants, the Bears. And then before that, he was a defensive coordinator at the collegiate level. I think this is kind of a stretch. I think Godsey is going to beat him if you know what I mean. He was the run game coordinator for us this year too, right? Not just a running back coach, but I see Godsey. If they're sticking in house, Godsey seems to be the one that makes a little bit more sense to me. I don't know what you think about that, Damien.
No, agreed. And that's also who Tua has the familiarity with. When Tua had a problem or issue, he would go to Godsey. Now, I will say to this guy, as far as I saw improvement with Gaskins and Ahmed as far as the run game compared to what we have with Balaj. So you can see the improvement with the guys, and I didn't have a problem with the run plays that we had. I just had a problem with when they were called and sometimes shying away from it. And I can't give him the blame for that. That goes to a coordinator that's no longer with us. So
yeah. Yep.
But I think Godsey definitely is the number one candidate as far as it comes to in-house.
Yeah, I agree. And guys, you've already heard us go over Godsey multiple times in terms of his coaching tree, going back to O'Leary, his connections to Bill O'Brien. So we've already gone over Godsey extensively on this channel. So, I agree with Damien. If they stay in house, it's going to be probably George Godsey. But let's get into two names. Okay, let's get into, I'm going to say the best for last and the guy I want for last. So, all right, because basically, guys, I'll give you my ranking at the end of this, but let's get into Tony Elliott. All right, now he's been brought up on this channel before. I actually, if I remember correctly, I didn't actually know if they would go that way. And again, he's a running backs coach right now. And he's also the offensive coordinator under Dabo Sweeney, coming from that pro style offense, pro style spread offense, right? Where, they love, what do they love over there? They love their RPOs, right? They like their slow screens. They love their smash concepts. You know what I mean? So, they can press, they can go straight, they're not afraid to go against man and beat man over there in Clemson. So that's an interesting development. Again, he's only 41, relatively young, right? He's been at Clemson, since 2015. Well, if you want to go back to, 2011, he was there, he's been there basically since 2011. So I'm talking about, he's had offensive coordinator duties since 2015 when he was the co-OC. He was a full-time OC this year. And then before that, he's with Deshaun as well. So that's that's a very, very interesting hire. I mean, that's intriguing me. So far out of the guys we've gone over, Tony Elliott and Mike McDaniel, of the guys we've talked about, they're at the top here. What do you think? What do you think about the potential hire of Tony Elliott, Damien?
Well, he's familiar with the RPO. He's worked with what we already know about Deshaun Watson, what everybody thinks about Deshaun Watson. Yeah. So he has experience, getting young quarterbacks together, because Deshaun Watson, he's highly recruited, but nope. Deshaun Watson 2 years in a row shredded a Bama defense in the highest level possible in the national title game. So, like, those type of things really jump out. Clemson offense is very explosive. You can have the talent, but you have to be able to put that talent together. And every Saturday afternoon, Clemson was able to put that talent together, and that offense was explosive in the run game, in the pass game, and as far as getting players in the right position. Everything was crisp and it was explosive, and that's definitely, a guy that could really do wonders for the Dolphins. The only thing I say is, can it translate on the pro level? That's the only knock that a lot of college guys have. Is to the NFL level, because it is a difference.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you, man. And another thing no one's thinking about, I think very highly of Lawrence. I think very highly of Deshaun Watson.
Uh-huh.
Can we both agree? And this is not a comparison. This is just let's call it like it is. Can we both agree that when you talk about mechanics and polished as just as a passer, not at reading defenses, but as a passer, they don't Tua was far more polished coming out of Alabama than what Lawrence and Deshaun Watson were.
As far as processing and going through progression?
Well, yeah, they just have more and as a passer, you know what I mean? Mechanically, his footwork, lower body, his upper half, you know what I mean? You've seen Lawrence when the pressure's on, he can become a mechanical disaster at times, right?
That's
Deshaun, the thing is, those guys are way more way more gifted than Tua is.
Athletically, yeah.
That's what makes up for them not being as mechanically polished as Tua was at the collegiate level, right?
Right.
That's my issue with this, though. We just named two guys that were supremely talented, and we both all agreed they could have more work done, a lot more work done on them by the time they came out.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's why I'm going to get into the guy I'm about to talk about, and you already know. But Rhino, what's going on, buddy?
Hey guys,
Rhino.
finally some positive fucking news.
Don't
Jesus.
sound too excited, Rhino.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I know, man. It's but hey, you know what? There's some names on this list. I don't know if you've been listening, Rhino, but
Just
you
got in.
know, Tony Elliott, and run game coordinator and running backs coach Mike Daniel for the 49ers. Those are some very interesting names, man. So not a huge fan of Matt Canada. Go back to what he did at LSU. I know a lot of Dolphin LSU fans will probably hate him as well. And he just came to the Steelers this year. So, and he's been a bounce around guy. I don't like him. I don't know the Studsville hire. I don't know about that. I think it's God. See if it's in house. But here's the man. Let's talk about it. This is the guy. If I look at this list, this is the guy I'm targeting, guys. Pep Hamilton. And I brought this up when I talked about potential candidates because there's a couple on here who I think there's 2 of the 6 guys that named made the list. And then we talked about Elliott, but I kind of brushed it off. But here he is. He showed up. So anyways, okay. So Pep Hamilton, guys. I'm going to keep going over this. I mean, this guy was instrumental in Andrew Luck's development at Stanford when the offensive coordinator position opened up in 2013 in Indianapolis. He came in and he was there till 2017. All right, guys, he was the quarterback's coach with Herbert. Here's the thing. This is why I want this guy. Guys, Herbert had never taken a snap under center in his whole collegiate career. Sure didn't look like that was an issue. And, Pep, what was Pep before that? The head coach of the DC Defenders, right?
Yeah.
So, I think Pep Hamilton, guys, I remember correctly from what I understood, Rhino and Damien might know this as well. I'm pretty sure he has ties to Flores.
Can I just read over some of the quarterbacks Pep has worked with?
Go ahead. Let's go.
I just looked it up. I was just intrigued by it. Okay, in 2004, quarterback coach Chad Pennington with the Jets. Quarterback coach with the Niners to Alex Smith. Quarterback coach to Bob Greasy. Dolphin fan don't want to mention about Bob Greasy. We love this. I mean, Brian Greasy. We love Bob. We really don't like Brian, but he was the quarterback coach. He was the quarterback coach in 2007. He was in that year when the Bears went to the Super Bowl. He was Rex Grossman's quarterback coach.
Oh, wow. The fact he could get Kyle Orton and Rex Grossman to the Super Bowl.
He also was the quarterback coach in 2008 for the Bears. That's why he was in the same era with Kyle Orton. And he was the quarterback coach when Jay Cutler went to the NFC title game. He was his quarterback's coach. And he was quarterback coach for Andrew Luck in college. That was around the time when the biggest upset in probably the last 20 years in college happened when they were a 45-point underdog against SC. And then he was the quarterback coach in Indianapolis, during the 2013-2014 season. He was Matt Hasselbeck's quarterback coach. He was still with the team. Cody Kessler, we're not going to, mention that, but he was with the Browns. I mean, so much you can do.
Yeah,
with
but
Cody
did you
Kessler.
notice the guys you don't want to mention
in Michigan.
aren't that talented, though? That's the thing.
Because
you're giving him a turd and asking him to polish it into a gold brick, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much is, But yeah, he's been with some names, and he was with those quarterbacks a lot, especially through high points.
That's the guy. If I'm going somewhere, man,
I'm with it. I mean, that's.
I think. Okay, here's my ranking, guys. All right, in-house, Godsey, no questions asked. External, off this list, Pep Hamilton. Pep Hamilton. I will go. Mike McDaniel, and then I'll go Tony Elliott. Mike McDaniel just super intrigues me. He that running game is ridiculous over there.
Can I make one statement about Mike McDaniel?
Go ahead, yeah.
And I know Pyro's gonna be pissed. If we was to have him as our OC, I would want Travis Etienne. if that was our OC, God knows if that was our OC, give me Travis Etienne. I would love to have. Who
do you think Tony Elliott's going to be banging the table for, bro?
Huh?
Who do you think Tony Elliott's
hell
going to be banging the
Travis Etienne. Now, if we was to
Pyro, where are you at right now?
If we was to go that route, then if we was to get Najee or Chuba, let's just get Michael Carter then if we're gonna, I need.
Well, I'd
something
get Michael Carter over
Yeah.
Chuba.
Yeah.
Chuba.
No, I'm saying I want my big back and then somebody I can do dynamic things with.
Yeah.
So if
But
that was the case-
Michael Carter would fit that mold too, though.
Oh God, yes he was.
He's more of a gadgety running back.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Pyro's gonna be pissed at me somewhere. He's cussing me out. He's cussing me out somewhere.
I got. Let's hear your ranking. Let's hear your rankings, guys. Give me your top 3 and then your internal hire if it's someone. So, Damien, let's start with you.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna count God. That's the internal hire. I'm not gonna count Godsey.
Yeah.
On this list, I'm gonna go Pep, Michael McDaniel, Tony Elliott. I'm not gonna mention Matt Canada. I think he is totally off script. I'm just not mentioning him. But in that order, that's how I would go. And I wouldn't be disappointed with none of the top 3. I would rather have Pep because I know he's done it
The
on the
track
NFL
record.
level.
Yeah.
And he's done it on the NFL level with quarterbacks and young quarterbacks. He's done it with veteran quarterbacks and young quarterbacks and making them feel comfortable. And that's all we're at right now with Tua. We want him to feel now comfortable and get acclimated into running a pro-style offense.
Rhino, what would your ranking be?
Yeah, I would say as far as the internals, I would say Godsey first, then Studsville. And then the external, I think Pep is a really interesting name. And really one that pops out more than him is the 49ers run game coordinator, Mike McDaniel. It's a good idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah, because that guy's had a carousel and everyone looks amazing who comes through. Like, it's ridiculous.
They always
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, who would have thought Raheem Mostert would be the weapon he is right now?
Mm-hmm. And then after that, I would say Tony Elliott from Clemson is also very intriguing.
Yeah.
It's not a bad list. It's not a bad list.
It's not. We're optimistic.
Yeah.
God knows we can be optimistic.
You know what this tells me, Rhino?
No, tell me.
It tells me that everyone's understanding that Bieniemy's leaving and Kafka's getting promoted.
Damn. Yeah.
Kafka would be on this
Which
list,
is good
man.
news.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I haven't really seen his name floating around very much with the Bieniemy, because there's also talk that Bieniemy might try and bring him over as his offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I wonder when they're going to announce that stuff, man.
And that's a good point, because think of it like this: if Bieniemy goes to Houston, they only have to win, but say if that offense gets even more potent and deadly, and he's his OC, Cass is going to have a better shot getting a head coach job, leaving off of Bieniemy staff than he would be off, and and
he has a good quarterback. He has a good quarterback to play with. So.
Yep.
I'm surprised we're
that
not
makes
seeing.
Sense.
I'm surprised Ken Dorsey's name isn't on this list too. I really am. Like, if you look at what he did with Josh Allen and what the Cam has his MVP season under there.
Maybe just because Dable's going to be a head coach and he's going to move into offense coordinator for the Bills.
There you go. That's again perfect. Hey, I didn't even think about that. Thank you, Rhino.
I mean, maybe
that's a perfect answer. That's you're probably 110% right, because there are talks about Dabo, Brian Dabo taking the Chargers job.
Yeah,
really.
Oh, buddy, imagine if he takes that job. Oh yeah, and Rhino made a really good point there, because Ken Dorsey, how do you know Dabo isn't saying that I'll take you, or like Rhino said, Dabo saying I'll take you, or the Buffalo saying we'll promote you.
Yeah.
Right. So, but the hell, okay, I'm leaving Buffalo weather for Los Angeles or Miami. Though I'm sorry. You're
gone.
Like, sorry, I'm out. All right, let's start dropping the link. I want to hear some of your guys' thoughts on this whole situation. I mean, like Rhino said, guys, it's a day where there's some good and positive news to talk about. I mean, so I mean, I'm gonna stick with it. Like I said, guys, for me, I gotta go Pep, I gotta go McDaniel, I gotta go Elliott, and if it's in house, it's got to be Godsey. Not a fan of Matt Canada. When you go back and look at what he did with LSU, it wasn't good stuff. And just I don't like a guy whose track record is, there's no really young quarterback that's developed under Matt Canada. And the other thing with Matt Canada too is the man bounces around from job to job. And I know, people who have ever been through the hiring process, whenever you see a resume and a guy's got a new job every year, you're going to raise some eyebrows. So, I'm good with that. Build off where you are and establish yourself. I mean, look at Elliott. We just went over how long he's been at Clemson, right? He was co-offensive coordinator from 2015 to 2019. He got named the full-time coordinator this year, and he was a running back coach there in 2011 to 2015. So he's been there for like 9 years.
The lifer.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Sharif, what's going on, buddy?
Sharif.
How you guys doing? Hey, Damien.
Sharif.
You got that knowledge, man.
I love sports in general, man. I love football. I love football. I just try to soak up what I can.
And making money off college football.
Oh yeah,
Never
and
heard.
making money and pro
And
football
fantasy
too this
football.
week.
And fantasy
And
football.
fantasy too.
You son of a bitch.
Oh yeah.
I looked at the tweet this morning from
Drew Boo.
Reason and I was wondering. I don't know if Lane Kiffin is the inside, but I wanted. I mean, I would like Lane Kiffin to secretly be added in there. That's my.
They done paid him to go in Ole Miss. They done paid him. I mean, if he does it, he does it. I just that situation is going to be tough to leave.
It was like a 4-year deal too, right? That he just signed.
Yeah.
Because we talked about this yesterday, and I mean, the thing was like, I mean, go look at what Damien said. They almost beat Bama this year, right? Like,
yeah, they almost hung 50 on them.
No, I personally think Ole Miss is never going to win the SEC as long as those powerhouse programs exist. But it's a nice thought that they can compete with them. But I mean, you know what the thing again? A guy like that turns around and wins an SEC title or has a national championship appearance with Ole Miss. He is a god amongst the men.
If he can get them in the top 10, which is a possibility with recruiting. He's a good
recruiter. He's a very good recruiter.
He's a made man getting them in the top 10. And with this system and the playoff probably expands, imagine 1 year slipping in the playoff. It's possible 2-3 SEC teams can do that.
Damien, what did I tell you? You read this? See, what did I tell you? Remember I said in the thread, Charger fans were saying, oh, Dolphin fans, you don't want him. And that was because they don't want him leaving Herbert.
This is, they're starting to get, they're not up there with Jets fans yet, but they're trying to be.
Getting there.
They're trying to be.
They're getting there. And Drew Brew, what's going on, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Drew,
hey, not too bad. I was reading a lot of the chats and went back to Larry's show yesterday, and I was like, somebody was telling me, hey, this is like toxic stuff, and I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, all this stuff about Twitter, about Tua. I said, dude, you have the power to turn it off.
Yeah,
turn it off. If you don't like that stuff, turn it off. Talk to Browns. So I have a lot of other friends in other environments, Cleveland, Green Bay, and so on and so forth. Some of them have a lot more knowledge at times. Like they don't understand the Tua bashing because they've been through some of these total rebuilds. We have never done that. So it's new to us and we don't understand how to treat it. Reason you said kind of a good thing one day. There's one thing about watching football and there's another thing about interpreting what you're watching, right? Mm-hmm. So I think some of these people who comment they like to comment just to comment and hear their voice. I would rather them just listen. Sometimes it's good to listen and interpret. Like when Benjamin Albright made his analysis of Tua at the year end, I was like, okay, this guy's a Broncos dude. What the fuck? What does he know about? But I started listening to him on the Broncos radio. He's got a lot of great points, very intelligent, logical takes. Mm. That's not the only guy. It's throughout the industry of NFL coaches and stuff about Tua. So I tend to lean on people who know what they're talking about and not folks that are just, they have, like somebody calls them a noodle arm. When I hear that, I cancel you out because you don't know what you're talking about.
He's got a stronger arm than Burrow. Like I've literally had this conversation with scouts.
You have to have a hot take, bro. You have to have a hot take.
Yeah. But as far as this hire reason, I understand Gotze has a lot of energy. He's moving up and down that sideline. He's grabbing to his shoulders. He's in his face. He's got more energy. I love that. I haven't seen these other guys. What do you think about as far as their energy, their style of innovation? Because innovation is the key to me, right? What are you thinking?
Pep, I love his energy. I mean, he'll, ask Damien. He saw him with the DC Defenders, right?
Mm-hmm.
He runs more of a West Coast scheme. He mixes in a lot of read option. He mixes in some pistol. If you go look at what he did in 2014, I believe the Colts had the 6th best offense in the NFL at that point. He does a lot of great things. I like his energy. Now the rest of the guys that we're talking about here, like Tony Elliott, he's got good energy, but again, you see more energy from head coaches at the collegiate level. Like they're going to focus on Dabo. They're not going to focus in on Tony Elliott, right? And then, Mike McDaniel, that's a run game coordinator. You're not going to really see a ton of energy. Gotze was, kind of promoted, right? People, I talked about that.
Right.
A lot of people don't really know outside of this channel, and I guess the listeners, that he was promoted, during that Arizona game, and that's why you saw more of Gotze and him and him and Tua interacting. I think, I really honestly think if they don't go with Gotze, Pep's the move. Pep's the move, man. I'm telling you right now, that's the move.
Why wasn't Gotze? I know they have to do their due diligence. Maybe this is you don't know, right? Didn't they blow him away? Say, Gotze's the guy. But we want to go do our due diligence. He's more thinking and it's like that, or Gotze is more of they're more thinking he's just a position coach.
I don't know. It could be, Pep could be the fact that it could be simple as they didn't know Anthony Lynn was actually going to get fired.
That's what I was thinking.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because here's
sudden,
the thing,
woof.
Flores and Anthony Lynn are really, really good friends, right? So how good of a word do you think Anthony Lynn's putting in for Pep right
Reason,
now?
I don't mean to interrupt y'all. Drew Boo and Reason, I don't mean to interrupt y'all. They're saying in the comments that according to Josina Aniston, Elliott has informed Dolphins that he's going to stay in Clemson.
Okay, there you go. Let's bring it up.
Okay.
I'll bring it up right now.
Okay, I didn't check it. Jason Greaves and everybody.
Josie Anderson?
Josina Anderson.
Yeah,
She's
I know
credible.
who that is. I got her.
Yeah.
No, she's good for the college level. She
Yeah.
was really in on a lot of the Tua stuff when it was going on.
If Jason says it, it's happening.
Yeah.
Nice.
Jason's a jet on Twitter, man. Shout out to Jason Greaves. Shout out to them.
Okay, here we go. Bringing it up right now. Shout out to you, Jason. I love you, brother. So here you go. Josina Anderson. I'm told the Dolphins have reached out to Clemson OC Tony Elliott, as did the Titans, just to gauge his interest, with current OC Arthur Smith interviewing for current head coaching vacancies. However, Elliott informed both teams he wants to stay at Clemson for the time being.
Okay.
So you can mark, guys. To me, it's Mike McDaniel or Pep if you're going out now.
Yeah,
it's
Elliott
simple.
wants to be a head coach on the college level first. That's what
Yeah,
that sounded like.
It's simple.
He's waiting for the right job.
Yeah. So, guys, your thoughts on that?
To turn on the Titans and us. That's the interesting part.
Yeah, definitely can't be the money, right? Because they're obviously paid up very well. I don't know.
Likes the college life, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's not a bad thing. Saban did, right? I mean, it is.
No,
what
but
it is.
he's turning down the Titans too. He's not just turning down us. The Titans is not a bad spot to land either.
Yeah. That's a pretty good spot and a lot of stuff to work with, right?
Yeah, the fact
I think
reaching out.
Yeah, Damien shows, right? Damien is pretty head on. He probably, a guy's been there for 9 years and he's not willing to move off for either one of those jobs.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's waiting
That
for
tells
the
you
right
he's either
college.
waiting either for Dabo to leave, the right college to come around, or for someone to come knocking from the NFL with a head coach opportunity.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Waiting for the right job. Probably that
Hmm.
Florida State job, the way Florida State is looking next year.
Yeah,
Did you
really,
guys
yeah.
talk about when you think we'll get a decision? Have you talked about that?
I
Ooh.
think, well, by the sounds of it, if it came out right now, we're 16 days away. Sounds like they're gonna probably sounds like they're moving to expedite this process, because if we go back to it, if we look at the names that are actually out on this list, I mean, now you can officially take Tony Elliott off, right?
Yeah.
But if you go look at how many of those names are in the playoffs right now,
None.
Right.
None.
Yeah, so there's no
Yeah.
delay.
It should be happening
I'm
probably the
gonna
next
be-
few days.
Yeah, I'm gonna be happy watching Coach running down the
oh,
sideline clapping.
What happened? What happened?
oh, hold on, I just backed out of that tweet from Josina,
Mhm.
guys.
Yeah. Breaking news.
What?
The Dolphins have already made contact with Pep Hamilton for the offensive coordinator job.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, breaking news here first on Fifth Side NFL.
There you go. There you
Here's
go.
my
man.
question: how many people are going to be coming to him though for an offensive coordinator's job? That's what we have to worry about, yeah.
Let's get on it right now.
Nobody turns down Stephen Ross's checkbook.
Nobody.
No,
Nobody turns that checkbook down.
You're actually accurate on
Give
that.
him stock and soul cycle. Fuck it.
Who do you think you are? You don't leave when we invite you
Yeah,
in.
nobody's turning down Ross's checkbook.
Soul cycle money.
well,
We're in there.
who would be? So we would be in a battle with what?
Yeah.
Jaguars, Jets. These franchises that are.
Well,
Just
Urban
so
Meyer. Well, Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer is finalizing with the Jaguars,
Yeah.
and the Jets.
Okay.
They're hiring the defensive coordinator. What's his face? It sounds like they're hiring.
Sula from San Francisco.
Yeah, Robert Saleh.
Well, he might now
Saleh
see.
from
He would
49ers.
he could take the running backs coach from the 49ers. You know they have a relationship. It's just if it doesn't fit under his offensive philosophy. As
Yeah.
far as
Yeah,
But now apparently the Titans are looking for an offense coordinator too, possibly.
fuck the Titans.
yeah, but see, here's the thing. I don't think they're gonna look for a guy like Pep.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because you look at Pep and you look at his track record, right, guys? He's more of developmental.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no development, Tanny. He's already what
Developed.
he is.
You know what I mean?
That's what
He's matured.
he's
Yeah.
mature.
Yeah, he's matured. So that's where I'm at with it.
Right.
I mean, that's big news, man. That's big stuff.
Hey guys,
And-
I'm gonna head out. Thanks, Reason.
Have
We'll
a
see
good
you
one.
guys later.
Have a good one, buddy.
All right,
It's up.
okay.
So yeah, guys, if you see on the screen right now, off the list, Pep Hamilton, from what we can see right now, dare I say Pep Hamilton was the first one given an interview.
What's good, everybody?
Good.
What's good, Church, and what's good, Pyro?
What's up, guys?
Oh, look at Pyro and Damien are twins. That's cute.
Pyro, that's nice.
Well,
Hey, Reason, did
I
you
don't
see
like-
the,
I don't
did you
like
see the
that.
tweet from Jeremy Fowler talking about that we're going to give a long look to Matt Canada?
Oh, please, God, no.
I know. I'm a
Oh,
LSU
God, I gotta
fan.
go on
He was
Twitter now.
Absolutely awful.
Wow.
Oh,
Let me
God.
just say this.
Oh, bad news is back again.
Damien, I heard what you said about Harris, and like I said, I don't forget.
Now, don't take that too
No,
serious. That was
you thought don't switch up now. I came through. I'm just saying you don't know this right now. Nobody wants Etienne. Okay.
I was just saying the fit,
Okay,
you
and
know,
here's I just want to show this. What's going on, Shake? So
Shake.
here's the Jeremy Fowler tweet that was just referred to.
Hello?
What's up, Shake? It's a Dolphins are believed to be taking a hard look at Steelers quarterbacks coach Matt Canada for OC. Canada consulted with Miami last year, acquitted himself well in Pittsburgh. And then look at the responses. Look at the responses. No! look, they know what's up. No! Please take him, please. Look at that.
I'm telling y'all right now, as an LSU fan, if we get Matt Canada, that is going to be the worst hire in years for us.
Oh.
Man, he's giving the country a bad name reason.
Oh my God. I went from the ultimate high to Debbie Downer right now. Yeah, I don't like that at all. To be honest with you, I wouldn't even touch him with a 10-foot pole, but here I am.
And he was the Steelers QB coach. Look at what he did with Big Ben. When week 17, what happened with old buddy? He was awesome.
So you're an LSU fan, correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Explain your beef with Canada from 2017.
Passing game was awful. Run game was awful. We had talent to go with anybody. Next year, we remove him, and we're the best offense in the league.
Yeah. All right, let me. Okay, you're an LSU fan. You're a Dolphin fan.
Yep.
You're sitting at 3. Penei Sewell's gone. Who are you taking? Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith?
I'm trading down first. Then I'm taking Jamar Chase.
Wow.
I've heard your takes on Jamar Chase versus Smith.
Smith, yeah.
Nah. You can't have that one-track mind. I know he sat out this year, but as a sophomore, he put up record numbers and everything.
I know, but that whole offense did under Joe Brady.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You know,
there's number one on the team with Justin Jefferson, Terrace Marshall, Moss, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He was the number one. Look at what he did against.
I get that.
But corners.
I mean, like, let's be honest. Only Terrace Marshall, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Justin Jefferson are going to be anything out of those guys you just named besides Chase. I mean, Moss is poo-poo at the NFL level. He's just not fast enough. Just not good enough in open space. He's just like a little slug bug. So, yeah, I said back then, I'll stick to it. I said last year coming out, Justin Jefferson is better than Chase. I'll stick to that. My thing is, go look at what he did the year before. He had almost half the catches. I think he had just under 40 catches. He had 87 last year.
Yeah, but that's Jamar Chase as a freshman versus Justin Jefferson as a sophomore.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the freshman didn't have Joe Brady. Look at what Terrace Marshall went out there and did when he didn't have Joe Brady this year. Why didn't I see Jamar Chase going to do that?
Because his family, he has COVID issues. COVID ruined everything for everybody.
Okay, so then, yet I watched Devontae Smith go out there, and he had already led the team last year with the quarterback change. He beat out Ruggs, he beat out Judy, he beat out Waddle, beat out all those guys. Then they all leave. This year, quarterback change. He has a lesser talented quarterback, and he beats all of Jamar Chase's numbers. And he's only 22 years old, so I don't want to hear the senior bullshit. He's only 22 when he does that. It's not like this kid's 24 and doing that. So he does all of this, and I mean, what? That just doesn't count? Because he did it with – here's the thing. He did it with a lefty and a righty. Those are two different spins on the ball. Those are two different styles of throwers. And you could tell the offense is different when Mac runs it compared to when Tua was running it. I mean, you guys saw just watching the national championship game, how many times did wide receivers have to stop up on their routes because the ball was not a good throw by Mac Jones? You didn't get that with Tua. And he put up more numbers with Mac Jones than he did with Tua. I get the Chase love affair, but see, to me, that's getting stuck in the prisoner of the moment because you only got 1 year to lean on. Like, you got 1 year to lean on.
That's why I wish he would have played this year so he could have shut everybody up. When they have these pro days, which more than likely will happen, He's gonna be right back as the wide receiver number 1. I promise you.
I don't think he will because Heisman winners at that position don't come along very often.
But he's not
and scouts are very
elite traits.
Scouts
in terms of size.
His route running, and the way he stems his routes is very elite. And the way he can use his body in and out of his cuts is very, very elite. That guy, I mean,
wide receiver drafts.
That's why his comp is Marvin Harrison. That's his comp is Marvin Harrison, right? Because Marvin Harrison was a very elite runner and used his body and his size for what he had in very elite ways. And Devontae Smith does the exact same thing.
Right. And where was Marvin Harrison drafted?
18th over, I believe 18th overall. But
hold on. But if it would have redrafted that draft, where would he go? And here's the thing: a player like that has now set the blueprint of if you see it. If a scout comes to you and you're a head coach and said, "I found the next Marvin Harrison," you're gonna wait around till 19 to pick him?
If I got a dude like Jamar Chase, who's
Robert Woods,
prospect to me, absolutely.
So, Woods. I got a question right now in the Dolphins. What the Dolphins need at wide receiver right now?
We need a Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase is Devontae.
Pinpoint the ball.
That's DVP, bro. What are Chase's elite? What are Chase's elite traits? Because he's really only got 2 of elite traits. What are they?
He high points the ball at an elite level, and his speed is underrated. He now runs a 4.4. That's reported 4.4 flat. He ran 4.66 in high school, and at LSU he ran a 4.4.
And the problem with your high school, and Damien can attest to this. Hey, Damien, how many times do you see on pro days? I mean, even last year, where you got guys on teams that are multiple guys that are running 4.3s, and then they show up at the combine and they're not running even in the low 4.4.
They're going to improve the number on your pro day. If you're at your school running your pro, they're going to improve the number.
That's why those are taken with a huge grain of salt. That's why even when I bring up the 4.66 high school, I say it's high school. He's grown. Who knew who was timing him at high school? So that's where I'm going out with that. So
hopefully the combine happens.
Pro day.
Yeah, I think, and I think Devontae Smith is going to run a faster 40.
That's debatable. If you look at the film, this dude averaged 21 yards a catch, man.
I looked at the film. Now go back and look at the film and go watch how many catches he had no one around, where he had no one around him because there's manufactured space everywhere. Because that's what Joe Brady's system. The whole fundamental basis of New Orleans system is manufacturing space. Go watch Michael Thomas when he makes a lot of his catches. There's no one around him.
That's the same thing with Sark.
No,
manufacturing space.
No. Sark is way more. First of all, Sark is way more run heavy and RPO heavy than sitting out here and manufacturing space on deep developing routes. That's not him. Joe Brady. That's the bread and butter at New Orleans. That's why no one could defend it last year because no one had seen that. That was an offense that won the Super Bowl. And they brought it to the collegiate level. No one had seen that at the collegiate level. That's why he got a job right away back at the Carolina Panthers. And now he's interviewing for a head coaching job, Joe Brady is. I mean, look at the trajectory that guy went off bringing that offense. And, I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. And now when you go back to his only elite traits are at the catch point.
I have a question.
He's an elite ball tracker. All right, and he's an elite high point catcher. That's literally DVP's game, and DVP runs a 4.45. So that's literally DVP's game.
Joe Brady, he only called third down and in the red zone. He gets way more credit than he's supposed to right now.
Buddy, he installed that whole offensive playbook.
Yeah,
that whole playbook was his
from New Orleans.
No, he calls down and plays in the red zone.
I'm not talking about play calling. I'm talking about the installs. He was doing the installs, man. That's the main reason they brought him from New Orleans, were for the installs. Like that's what I'm sitting there and talking about. Like that's why they were shredding teams so bad, man. It's because you usually see the most advanced coverages you're gonna see are Tampa. Tampa 2 at usually it's like quarters, but the most advanced you're going to see is Tampa 2, man. That's the most advanced, and no one had seen anything like what Joe Brady had installed. Like, this is legit.
Joined. So Coach O brought in Joe Brady, right? Steve Endlinger already had the offense. If you remember in 2018, when we went to the our bowl game versus UCF, we put up over 40-something points. The offense was already implemented. They brought in Joe Brady to just enhance it to a spread.
That's what I'm saying. The installs, like, that's the term I'm using. Installs. Like, you're just validating what I'm saying. That's all you're doing right now. You're literally just saying they had the fundamentals of the offense and they brought him in to upgrade it. How do you do it? You bring in your installs from your playbook from New Orleans.
Was already
that's
there.
why he got the job. That's why he went to Carolina. You think all these other teams at the NFL level don't do their due diligence and talk to every coordinator and every positional coach and every head coach in LSU?
Absolutely. He was
That's what I'm sitting here saying, man.
Bringing LSU from – people forgot that we had a good offense in 2018 at the end of the year because Joe Burrow had gotten better. And then
but brother, you cannot even compare it to when Joe Brady, dude, you're comparing, it was kind of good at the end to literally the next year it became arguably the greatest collegiate offense of all time. And Joe Brady is clearly the factor. I mean, and I'm saying here, this is facts that he brought over installs from New Orleans. Like, he brought over exotic offensive looks guys hadn't seen yet. And they didn't have they don't use schematics at the collegiate level to defend that stuff. And B, again, I go back to the fact when you go up against a defense at the collegiate level, how many, no matter where they are, SEC, ACC, wherever you want to go, how many of the guys on the other side of the football are going to the show? What, like maybe 2 or 3? So you got a bunch of jabronis against an uber exotic NFL install, NFL installs in an NFL scheme. What do you think's going to happen? I mean, that's just, it is what it is. It's a fantastic job by LSU. I mean, hell, got to applaud them for having arguably the greatest offense of all time. But, I mean, that's just what it's going to be, man. You're going to get a bunch of jabronis held out on islands looking like what they are, jabronis, guys who are never going to make it. So, because, they're guys who get beat by normal, simplistic offensive schemes. What are they going to do when a Rubik's Cube comes to them and they got to solve it? You know what I mean? And you know what? They had the perfect weapons to complement. It was perfect for Joe Burrow because Joe Burrow, his arm is not as strong as Tua. So, he can make tight window throws because his ball placement, his accuracy is elite. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But you don't want him making them like what you'd ask, like if a Herbert had elite ball placement and accuracy. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I got to say that offense, it played to everyone's skill set so freaking well. And that's why, you know what? I'm going to go out here and say this. And I said it before, I'll say it again. Based off of value, the fact that I could get Terrace Marshall in the mid to late 20s or in the second round compared to having potentially use a top 10 pick on Jamar Chase, I don't know, man. Because the only reason why I'm willing to go top 10 on Devontae Smith, Heisman, and everything aside, what I've ever been consistent about, that chemistry. Jamar Chase isn't Tua's favorite target ever. That's Devontae Smith, who just won a Heisman.
The chemistry factor is definitely important. I agree with that.
And I'll tell you right now, if he didn't have that chemistry, I wouldn't even be talking about taking Devontae Smith. That wouldn't even be passing my breath. If he wasn't Tua's favorite target ever, I wouldn't even be thinking about a wide. I'd be like, you know what, Panay or trade back. But the only reason I'm saying that is because if you trade back, you're going to miss out on probably, because I don't think, from what I'm hearing, Waddle's going to go back to Bama. So you might miss out on Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith if you trade back to 7 or 8 or 9. So that's where that's now the only reason I would even take a receiver in the top 10 is because of the chemistry. If Devontae Smith wasn't Tua's favorite target. I don't even know if I'd take him in the top 10. I'd have to actually sit there and seriously think about it. And that goes for Jamar Chase. That goes for all these
Somehow
receivers.
trade with Atlanta at 4 or 5. That would be ideal.
Yeah.
And then
See, my problem is, if for a receiver, normally, typically for me, if I'm going to take a receiver like top 5 or in and around top 5, I want like 6'3". I want like 4'3" speed. You know what? I want like a Julio physical freak that we all know you are not going to miss on. That's what I want if I'm going top 5 normally. The only reason I'm going here is because I do see elite stuff with Devontae. I see an elite comparison, but the thing that pushes him over the top for me is the Tua connection. That's the thing that puts him there. If that wasn't there, and I would be saying the same thing about Jamar Chase if Jamar Chase was a Bama product, probably. You know what I mean? Like if Waddle had played every single game this year, I'd probably be saying, yo, think about Waddle up there too. You know what I mean? Just the connection, the chemistry. My thing is, guys, especially with wide receivers, we can all agree here, whether you're an LSU fan, Bama fan, Nebraska fan, Gators fan, don't matter. Wide receivers, like what we saw from Justin Jefferson this year, that doesn't happen very often at all. So if you can have the chemistry already in place, that is, to me, a big factor because you now have that guy is automatically trusted and automatically one of your quarterback safety blankets. So that's where I'm at with that. Like, that's the only reason that I push a wide receiver up and consider even at 3 is the chemistry. If that didn't exist, guys, wouldn't even be on my tongue. Not even lying to you. So, anyways. But you know what? Like, hey, if I can get Jamar Chase at 18, let's rock it. I'll take Chase at 18. I'm down. I don't think, you know what? Like I said, if Devontae Smith, didn't have the chemistry, I don't know if I'd take any receiver in the top 10 yet. I don't.
Yeah,
I really actually don't because
who has that insane speed.
That's who I would take in the top 10 if he was fully 110% healthy. Because that 4.27 speed, I can't teach that. And he can play at that speed, like Ruggs, right? Like I can't teach that, man.
Huge upgrade over Jakeem Grant.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, and you know what? I see Tyreek Hill out of the gate on that guy.
Yep, that's his comp right now.
Well, and here's the thing. You know what I can do too, brother? Even in year 1, right? What can I do with him that I wouldn't be more reluctant to do with a guy like Chase or a guy like Devontae? I can use him on punt and kick returns too.
That's one thing I like about Devontae too, though. He could punt and kick return too.
You want to put that? You want that body though? On returning when guys can go downhill 40, 50 yards on him, bro. That's what I'm worried about, man.
To get over his body because he doesn't get injured really.
No, but I'm sticking him to the boundaries. I'm not putting him on the return team. I'm not putting him on the return team though, bro. I'm not giving NFL guys like a 40, 50 yard head start on this kid, bro. We've seen what it does to Jakeem, and Jakeem's like jacked for his size. And Jakeem gets lit up, bro, So, okay, yeah, I was going to show you guys something. Check this one out. I got something for y'all. This may make some of you guys fall in love with Jalen Waddle even more. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, check this one out. You guys might like this. Bring it up for you guys. Expand that out.
And also with the coaches, we definitely should go with Pep. Everyone's screaming for Pep right now, so I feel like it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
I hope it
too
happens.
good to be true.
I know. Charger fans are shaking in their boots right now. All right, here we go. Check this one out.
Either way.
Guys, this is Henry Ruggs versus Jalen Waddle. Okay? This is Waddle's freshman season. And this is Ruggs' sophomore season. All right? They're lined up. I don't know.
Oh.
Because it's blurry. You don't know, but all you need to know is the result. Because it doesn't matter who's who. Watch this.
I got you.
Oh, hold on. He said it. Let me bring it back. Hold on. He said it. My bad. He says who's on the right. Ruggs is on the right. Okay, I'm going to share the audio so you guys can hear it. Ruggs is on the right, and Waddle is on the left, okay? And remember, when Josh Jacobs came out, guys, he said that boy Waddle's going to run a 4.27. Like, that's what he said. So, here you go. Ruggs is on the right, Waddle on the left.
Ruggs on the right. Oh shit! Oh no! That shit crazy.
Did you see that?
Ruggs might have had him by a hair, maybe.
By a hair, maybe.
No.
Let's bring that back one more time for that finish, bro.
Wow.
Look at this. Oh, I can't even, bro, they're so fast I can't even pause. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that.
Just a tiny hair.
That is crazy, huh?
Yeah. What is it, 1,000th? 1,000th, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah,
That is,
so if Ruggs ran 4.27, Waddle is definitely 4.27.
yeah, that's a see you next Tuesday hair. That's what that is right there.
Wow.
Like, that is.
And he's way better than Henry Ruggs.
Yeah, way better route runner, way stronger. I love, I like his body and his frame so much better. Like, he's going to be
He actually
special.
high points balls pretty well.
Yeah, he's gonna be special when he comes out, man. It's just a matter of if he comes out this year or if he comes out next, man. But I mean, that is impressive speed. Oh, we got a couple of you muted. Pyro's muted, Sharif's muted, Damien's on the mute life. Look at y'all, just up here, just got your feet kicked up, just relaxing, drinking your tea, just chilling out, huh? You have a crumpet too? And Raiden didn't X shut down Ruggs. Yes, he did. He only was really targeted on that deep route once.
He was just coming off of COVID.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
He wasn't a factor in the game. X shuts down everybody.
Yeah, X is legit, man. I mean, the thing he shouldn't have said before that Buffalo game was, I can turn 4-3 guys into 4-5, make them look 4-5, because
It is true, though. Look at what he did with Tyreek Hill with that play.
Yeah, but he was chasing a couple routes in that Buffalo game, that's for sure. Some of those crossers, he was chasing them.
That is our one weakness, the crossers.
Yeah, it's also a weakness when we don't do it a lot. And we don't even, on offense, we don't even do rub routes.
Yeah, our
It's
offense
ridiculous.
was pathetic.
Yeah, it's not a good look right now, man. All right, guys, I'm going to drop that link. Anybody wants to come up and join. Damien came back. Look at you. Pyro, are you there, bro?
Yeah, what's up?
He's eating brownies.
Oh, yeah, again. I got to ask you, man.
I ain't no brownies.
Were you worried when you saw Tony Elliott's name because of the Clemson connection and Etienne over Najee? We were thinking about you, bro.
Let's just say I'm glad that he's staying in Clemson.
Agreed.
Well, here's the other thing. Damien hit him with the Mike McDaniel knowledge.
Oh, well, I was saying if with that guy from out of San Francisco, the way he schemes, different formations out the run game and creates. I mean, Najee catching the ball out the backfield and doing those things are wonderful, but who really fits that type of offense is Travis Etienne. I'm just saying, the different ways we could use him as a weapon. Get him out in space, put him in motion, different. Which Najee, you can use Najee in those ways too. But
No, all I heard was the Charlie Brown adult speak.
Pyro, I just want you to know the odds of getting the one player you like are so slim that dude, that's why I lost it when we got Tua last year. I can't believe they actually got him. So I'm just saying,
I was losing it too, man.
Bro, I'm hoping for you because I want Najee, but damn,
they would have to take him at 18. I think there's a good possibility he could be there at 18. I would be stunned if a team would get him in the top 15 picks. in this NFL. But
you love that he going, don't you? You love that. That will make you so happy, and you'll be giggling and all that. One that just
I tell you what,
you happy.
If we don't get Panay at 3, the odds on us probably getting Najee is probably slim to none. You would need us to get Najee at 3. I mean Panay at 3 to probably get Najee at 18, because if they get that wide receiver at 3, or even move back in the top 10 and get that wide receiver, I just don't see how they're going to have to get either a Slater, a Dershaw, or a Cosme right there. Or they could gamble for Abraham Lucas later on in like the late second, early third. But at least we get Moten in the offseason. So, there's still hope. The offseason, the free agency period will tell if Najee has a shot.
The free agency will also tell if we draft a wide receiver early.
True. True. Yeah, that is true. But my whole thing is, will we spend the money on an Allen Robinson or a Chris Godwin? Because they're going to demand top wide receiver money.
All right, I got something for you guys. You guys want to see what some players had to say about and welcome Chris on the show. You want to see what some players had to say about Mike McDaniel, who, me and Damien said we're super, super intrigued by. Check this one out. This is some good stuff here. So former Cleveland Browns receiver Andrew Hawkins. I played one season under Mike, and if they want an offensive guru, I bet every dollar in my account that no other candidate understands offensive football the way he does. Every dollar. Pierre Gasson, probably the smartest one of the position coaches he's played for. Former Dolphins offensive line coach Chris Forrester, who worked with McDaniel in Washington, called him the ultimate sounding board and creative guy. Former Atlanta Falcons wide receiver Taylor Gabriel said during the Falcons 2017 Super Bowl run, he's like the big piece to this offense. He's a smart dude, and when something's not right, he fixes it. Because he's the one who stepped in when Sarkisian left, I'm pretty sure, that year. Because Sarkisian left midway, like in December, and then McDaniel stepped in to help. Former San Francisco 49er offensive tackle Joe Staley said he's really, really instrumental in our offense as far as game planning. He's a very, very special as a coordinator and run game designer for our football team. Kyle Juszczyk, one of the best, if not the best fullbacks in the NFL right now, who's a free agent, might I add. We obviously see and hear what kind of wizard Kyle is, but Mike Daniel is right there with him. He does all the work behind the scenes. He does so much for this offense, and it's just so innovative in what we do. He does everything, man. I come to Mike for everything in the book. I'm surprised he hasn't been hired away from the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan, Mike is just as important as anyone to work with.
Well, damn.
And you know what Shanahan sauce too is perfect for that offense.
Mm-hmm. You know who's also perfect for that offense?
God.
It always comes down to Najee, man. Y'all already know that. But Mike Shanahan, that's why I said that's an interesting, candidate that they're interviewing, man. Because I didn't expect them to interview him. I hope so, man. If we get SCN, then I'm gonna swallow my pride and
Yeah, because this Mike McDaniel guy, he might be my number one over Pep now, to be honest.
Yeah, I might be changing. Like, that's a damn.
Yeah. I'm shifting gears.
He's 37.
Yeah, I'm shifting gears, man.
Very high praise.
Well, it comes down to the little things, right? The interview is very important. So
yeah.
What do you mean that's
better than the other?
He went to Yale too, so this dude is smart.
Yeah.
When you say high praise, Damien, what do you mean?
I mean, all these players, are just, really saying how much he's meant to them and how he's helped them, transition and be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's high praise. But I'm sure every coach gets it. But this is fresh right now, so just hearing it, because I didn't know, that
It'll
much about this guy.
Man,
so
this
is new to hear. So
I don't think it's a wrong answer if we choose either one of them.
Oh no, I think both of them. I think it's a win-win in either scenario.
Yeah,
I just don't want Matt Canada, but I think besides these two candidates right here, it's a win-win. Or Gotze in-house is a win-win. All three.
I feel bad for Reason that his last name is Canada, man. That sucks.
Yeah.
He's putting on a He's putting on a bad name for your country, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. You're gonna have to cancel him, bro. Matt Canada.
Yeah, cancel.
We
Man,
don't claim.
not
Canada
my
does
Canada.
not claim, man.
Yeah, just start a
Yeah,
hashtag,
bro.
not my Canada.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Get him out. Hopefully they don't. Please, God, don't hire him. Jesus, please don't hire him.
Maybe Canadian, but in no way, shape, or form do I endorse Matt Canada.
My
I'm
God.
gonna attach him to Tom Hanks, so he has no shot.
I believe he can do that. I believe he can do that. Probably got some tape on him too. So what? He's got a happy ending like what's it called it from the Patriots on.
Yeah, I'm good.
Tape on it, man. That's crazy, man.
Wow. You know, here you go. Look at this. Oh, this is another good one. Here you go. Yeah, man. Like, damn. It's ridiculous. Now I'm actually seeing the tweet. I'm seeing the tweet from Andrew Hawkins, and like, damn, he ring an endorsement like last year. Crazy. Like, this is interesting, man. Check this one out. This is the first quote you guys saw when I brought up the quotes, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
From last year, like literally almost a year ago, right?
Right.
Like, wow, ringing endorsements. So Pepper, Mike McDaniel, man. McDaniel, you had my intention. Now you first you intrigued me. Now you have my intention.
Man, I tell you, our running game gonna be elite.
Well, not only that, man. Look at, hopefully you can start blending in some stuff with the passing game as well.
Yeah, and you know how
Well,
much I love the running game. You know,
I will say this. It might all boil down to, as far as with him, what the Jets do as far as their head coach. Because I could see Sula, he's going to take something from that San Francisco coaching staff.
Oh, the defensive coordinator who's taking the Jets job.
Yeah, I'm not saying if he's. I'm pretty sure he's high on that list. So
yeah, I heard they're finalizing it today.
Okay, so if he does,
well,
he's been in the running for a head coach for a long time, so I'm glad he's getting this opportunity.
The Jets.
I wish failure on the Jets, but I'm glad he's getting this opportunity. But he's going to pull somebody from that staff. It's just
watch that guy take Micah Parsons at number 2.
The Jets hiring,
or maybe our Caleb Farley. Maybe Caleb Farley really does come true.
Who the
it
Jets
might.
Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator from San Francisco.
Because his logic would be, damn it, I'm going up against Josh Allen every year. Miami's on the rise. Damn it, I need a defense.
And Urban Meyer's finalizing his contract with the Jaguars.
That's a good point you made.
He'll be on AEW in a week.
Salah, he has another interview with the Chargers today, they said.
Ooh.
I think Dabble's going to take that job.
What, in division? Oh, I thought you were talking about the Jets. That'll be interesting.
No, I think Brian Dabble's going to take the Chargers job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
That's a good point you made, Damien, because don't you think like teams are waiting to see so they can pepper like a Bill?
So is the Eagles hiring somebody? Because they got a vacancy too.
I was reading today that there's actually belief from the owner that Adam Gase could turn around Carson Wentz's career.
You know what?
God. Are you kidding me?
You know what?
You're joking, right?
Philly would eat him alive. I want to see it happen just so somebody would probably a fan would kidnap Adam Gase. I want to see it happen just to see the shit show. Maybe Celtic pride would come to life.
Wait a minute.
Carson Wentz is going to ask for a trade.
Wait, did you just say they think Gase is going to turn around Wentz?
Bro, look.
What the?
Bro,
check it.
Fan base and media.
This is from January 11th. Hearing Eagles are strongly considering QB guru Adam Gase as head coach to come in and pick Carson Wentz.
Good. They deserve it.
Bro, they just got rid of one of the best coaches they ever had, and they getting one of the worst coaches
Well,
in this decade. Now let me just say this. Let me just say this. This guy's getting a third chance. A
Yeah.
third chance. Are
back
you
to back to
kidding
back.
me? Are
Well,
you kidding me, bro?
He's got to have new pitches or someone.
And the
He's
thing
going
is,
to the right city.
but the thing is, though, he thinks New York media is bad.
Oh God.
Philadelphia will rip him to
The
shreds.
fans.
Look what Ronnie says. Look at Ronnie because he's so right.
I agree. I
Like-
wasn't trying to say it, but
He's
Yeah.
like, Jesus.
Yeah, I would
Bro.
not say that.
I wouldn't let this guy wipe my ass, let alone coach my football team. These guys are
He's
crazy.
destroyed every quarterback he's touched.
Yep.
And
That's gotta be
offense
a
or
troll.
team, period.
he's gonna,
Because even the Jets didn't
It
have
has
a
to
good.
be.
bro. He's gonna
Even the
destroy.
Jets didn't
he's
have a
gonna
good
jo-
team, and look how he made it crappier.
Yeah.
Bro, you
Look
thought
what he
you
did
thought,
to DVP. He destroys offensive players too.
but listen, you thought Hurts was bad, dude. That dude's gonna be even worse.
Buddy,
I don't know if you guys know it, but Gase saved
That's a-
Peyton Manning's career. I don't know
Oh
if you know
yeah, I
that.
forgot about that. Yeah, he did.
Well, I'm just
say-
saying, if you look at who made that text, it's kind of a little bit of a satire too, right?
Mhm.
PFT commentator, that's kind of a little of a satire.
Gotta be.
But like, you know what I mean? But I was just kind of joking with everyone. But like, that it would not surprise me.
Eagles fans will burn that sports complex and everything down.
There's
That
no way.
would be a disaster.
The
If
only
that was to
Eagles
happen.
fan I want to check in is EDP.
That would be a disaster. If that was to happen.
Hey, Reason, let me say something real quick, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
I've been watching the show for 4 or 5 months now. I love what you're doing. And I wanted to just chime in real quick on something I put in the comments a couple times. I'm actually an exercise physiologist. And so I wanted to make a point on something that you had talked about when we were watching through all the all-22s. And occasionally to rip a throw that's not quite on point. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that he's still getting used to nerve innervation in his trunk rotation and his hips. And once he has an off season to work on that, it affects his accuracy. And what he's doing is you can see in a lot of those 22s on the occasional miss throw, he's not following through all the way because he's trying to protect his hips in what's called the refractory period, where it's slowing him down to get back to normal. And that's him muscle guarding and protecting himself. Once he gets past that mental block, God knows what we're going to see.
How long is that going to take? do you
Great
think?
assessment.
It can be, it depends on the individual. And the reason why is as he is leading up to his throw and he's following through, he's going to sit down on his back leg to slow himself down. When you do that, it can be 6 months, it could be 8 months, because you're looking at between 12 and 16 months to get back to quote unquote playing shape. But each individual has a mental block. And a lot of that isn't not that he can't get past it, but your body has to also link up with your mind, and they have to be one and the same. And the only time that is seeing him get hit, he likes it. He gets up from it. So it's not a physical thing. It's a mental thing. And it's going to improve. And when it does, especially like, you know, you were talking about on your show last night with Jakeem Grant and everybody saying, hey, let's get in the lab and let's do all this work.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. And I'm excited.
Wow.
So do you think we could see the same type of quarterback we saw at Alabama?
Absolutely, and better. His thing is number one, like you've preached, and unfortunately not too many people are smart enough to understand it. It's not just, oh, I came in and I played. No, it's an off season of working with these guys, not sitting here with trainers and going through sport specific training drills and going, oh, he's looking good. No, wait till he looks good and he feels good mentally. When he gets past all that and says, okay, now I'm ready, Now let's practice and let's get this down pat. That's what's going to turn it to a whole new level.
All right, so let me ask you this, just because I know people are really interested right now. You're lighting up the comments, brother. I love this. I want to get your take on. Okay, so in terms of future hits and what his body can take, should Dolphin fans be worried about injuries?
Not at all. Not in the slightest. Physically, when you get into, again, you're talking about Alabama and you're talking about all these really good doctors and surgeons, not a question at all. He has to become more confident, because when he throws, he's going to set his hips to slow himself down after he throws it. That's a comfort thing. That's a 99.9% of the time, everyone does that autonomically, which means not thinking about it.
What do you mean by slow down the hips? What exactly does that mean?
So I wish reason, because I don't do all the editing and stuff you do. I wish I could pull some up. But if you look at the 22, you're going to plant your base and you're going to pull back and your shoulders are going to lean back. And as you're moving forward, your back leg is going to have a 90-degree bend in it. But then when you try to slow it down, you drop your butt down, you drop your hips down to where they're level, so you can naturally slow yourself down. That, especially with someone with a hip injury, they're worried about, I don't want to tweak the wrong way. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do anything that's going to hurt me. Right. Even though physically it's not going to hurt you, it's a mental block. You can see.
Can I ask him?
Hold on.
Can I ask you something?
Let him finish. Go ahead.
So again, in this situation, Tua is thinking about it more than he should. He, just the same way we talked about, he pats the ball and he's trying to find the right place, but he's also not he doesn't want to put himself in a position where he's going to get lit up. Yeah. He's not stupid. None of these people are stupid, but at the same time, it grows naturally. He's going to get used to doing it and he's not going to have to think about it anymore. And once he hits that point, it's going to be magic.
Wow. All right, go ahead, Esteban.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, man. I was wondering, is there something you can do to accelerate that? Like do they like some kind of like water resistance training? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I apologize. My internet's acting weird. But yeah, you can try a lot of different things, but it's not a physical aspect. It's a mental thing. It's about him not having to worry about it anymore. He's not going to be overconscious about it. He's not going to be going, okay,
just trust your body, right?
Down so I have a comfortable refractory period, and that I'm not going to step the wrong way and tweak it or do something that's going to hurt me.
I see.
It's not a therapeutic modality. It's not anything of that sort. It's that mental block of just like any major injury. It's
because it was traumatic, right?
Play.
It was traumatic.
I apologize.
No, that was a traumatic injury, right, Chris? Like that takes a mental impact, that type of injury, right?
A posterior wall fracture along with a dislocation is very rare. I wouldn't say very. It's not likely. It doesn't happen often. The amount of force that is needed to create that type of injury is no joke.
Well, I get you. So it's almost like a PTSD thing, almost just a mind thing. You just get past it. That's cool.
I wouldn't say a PTSD thing. It's just when you're used to doing something the same way for years and years and years without an injury, you do it without thinking about it. Now, yeah, he also understands this is his livelihood. I'm going to do things to protect myself and my body, which is his right. That's something he absolutely needs to do as he continues to improve. Because even with rehab, just because I can get back to throwing the ball and running around doesn't mean that I'm back to where I was before the injury occurred.
I mean, Chris, okay, so let me ask you this. how impressed were you, coming from the field you come from, watching this kid, not even 365 days removed, step out there, and then game 2, he's shaking Buda Baker out of his cleats. I mean, when you take into effect, because you know better than all of us in the comments and here, well, some people might work in the emergency room. I saw Andre Villarreal does. Shout out to you. How impressed with you that he was able to do what he was able to do, basically, like you said, where he spent, and like I've been saying, he spent the whole offseason rehabbing, not preparing his body for the NFL season. He was rehabbing to step on the field. So how much more impressed are you by the, I guess you could say, feats he accomplished in year 1, coming off the situation he's coming off of, when you take the injury, the offseason, rehabbing all into context as a doctor? How impressive is that to you?
Okay, well, I want to make clear I'm not a doctor. An exercise physiologist is not a medical doctor. So I want to just throw that out there. But I am extremely impressed with the fact that he did, especially in the Arizona game. There were a few, even sporadically throughout other games, his ability to take off and avoid the rush and put your foot in the ground and slide to the right or slide to the left to avoid the rush. Those are things that, again, it shows physically he has all the characteristics that you're looking for. Mm-hmm. I'm not a quarterbacks coach. I don't do biomechanical evaluation for, quarterbacks and sports specific stuff. I work with a lot of baseball athletes and a lot of volleyball athletes and stuff like that. But when you have a situation where someone is coming off of that type of injury, but can show you their natural talented gifts, even when they're not at full strength, that is something you have to see, whether it's not even talking about his vision, which is great. Yeah, he has some off throws here and there. He has some times where he pats the ball and holds it a little too long. But again, as you've said, and I concur 100%, when you have an offensive line that can't do anything, you're at the mercy of the defense will. They can send however many they want, and you're running for your life. Well, that's not Tua's game. Tua can make that sporadic, juke and get some yards, but that's not his game. He's not, you know what I mean? He's not a Lamar Jackson. Yeah, exactly. But his thing is, if I have the time to sit back, be mechanically sound, trust my receivers, trust my offensive line, it's gonna be insane.
Yeah, agreed. Yes, and I just because I got to get out of here real soon because I got to go wake up my kid, guys. But there's something I wanted to show everyone. Let's continue to just dead this narrative that everyone keeps talking about, because I think it's pretty much now dead in the water. And shout out to the homie Benjamin Albright, great guy, does great stuff. Appreciate everything you just brought, Chris. That was fantastic stuff.
Thank
man.
you.
Hit me up inside the NFL at gmail.com, Chris. Let's talk about some stuff. All right. So hit me up, hit my email up inside the NFL at gmail.com, Chris. Let's talk. Okay. Very so insightful. This is from a Pro Football Network article today, and it basically deads the whole Watson trade thing. Oh, and Chris is back, sorry. And it basically deads the whole Watson trade thing. This is basically putting it in. So basically, this is from Benjamin Albright. He said the same source told me they weren't trading Deshaun Watson at all. I presented that person for a hypothetical. He said, hypothetically, what would take a move to trade Deshaun Watson in a vacuum? He said it would take 3 firsts, 3 seconds, and a Pro Bowl caliber player would start the conversation. So the idea that you're going to get Watson for Tua and a first and something else is laughably ridiculous. It's not happening. You're not getting Deshaun Watson for less than it cost Jamal Adams. Deshaun Watson will require an absolute boatload to obtain right now. He's not even on the block, and he has a no trade clause, so he'd have to waive that. The article itself, you can go find it, guys, on Pro Football Network. You can go to my Twitter, and you can find it there. I linked this image with it. It basically deads the whole fact that Watson ain't leaving Houston. So that's a good read. I got to plug Ben Albright for he continues to do great stuff. He does the Lord's work for us.
The Lord's work.
The Lord's work. So, guys, 300 of you in the room, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new. If you'd like to donate to the channel, as always, paypal.me/Finside. You can also use the super chat option through the chat right now. Become a Finside the NFL Patreon. We got the $2 level, $5, $10, $15, $20 level. And as always, shout out to each and every one of our Patreons, Rhino, Shake Money, Infinite Trauma, Tranquilize, your boy Trev, KA All Day, Big Time, Conflict, Josh, Keith Davis, Jazza 803. I got to show love to the Gold Coast over there. Fake Spike 94, Joe B, Seth, Slim Pickens, Ramon Casillas. Appreciate each and every one of you guys and gals, whatever the case may be, for donating, opening it up a little bit. Obviously, Red Dino Marinos Go. Don't know if you said your name. I don't want to miss you guys. So, guys, you don't have to donate. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Show some love. That's enough for me. So patchvibes.com. Use code FREEPATCHFINS for free. Miami Dolphins Silver 25th Anniversary patch. And, of course, grab official Finside the NFL merch. Teespring.com/stores/Finside the NFL. And this is the year. 10% off with code FINSIDE. All right. And let's roll with it. Roll through it. Final thoughts. Damian, let's start with you.
Even one of those two candidates plus, in-house with Gods, I don't think we can go wrong. I'm optimistic that hopefully this will come down in the next week or so. We'll know who our OC is. Sky's the limit. Tua I just got faith in this kid. Like I said, I called it out last week. I'm going to call it out this week. At the least 30 touchdowns, 4,000 yards passing. Damn it, I'm calling it out. I don't care. Call me a homer.
You don't even have a coordinator in this guy. I like it.
Call me what you want.
Rhino, let's hear your thoughts.
This is really good news today. The OC hunt looks to be going well. Looks like odds are we're going to get a good candidate. And thank you. I think you said the trainer's name was Chris. Thank you for giving us that information. It was very insightful. And like I keep saying, stick with Tua. We're going to make everyone look like an idiot, a moron in a year or two. And King Tua.
Pyro, let's hear your final thoughts, brother.
I'm glad that this Chris showed up, just give us some insight on what's going on with Tua. I really appreciate that, man. You really opened a lot of these people's eyes and plus mine too. And like Rhino said, we all keep with Tua, give him time. It's only been one freaking year, one season. I mean, we all should have known this from the jump. But anyways, I appreciate it. That's all I got to say.
All right, man. Church Shane, let's get your final thoughts. Church Shane.
Yeah, man. So definitely I want either Pep or Mike for OC. Either of them, I feel like, would do a phenomenal job with Tua. I never thought I'd plug Mike Tannenbaum because I don't like him. But his tweet today, giving perspective on where Tua is versus where Cam was, Sam Darnold, and Josh Allen were when they were rookies, is absolutely phenomenal. He said that currently Tua has an incomplete grade because that is exactly what he has. He's coming off of a major hip surgery less than 14 months ago, and he has the same / better stats than every AFC East starter as a rookie. Couldn't be said any better.
Yeah, so this is what Shane is referring to right here. If you go look at the first 9 career NFL starts between all the AFC quarterbacks right now, that's how he stacks up.
Hell, bro.
We're in good hands.
What's the problem? It's so crazy, man. It drives me nuts.
I know, eh?
Dolphins fans are just so impatient. We need to calm down, relax. We gave Tannehill 7+ years. Give this guy at least one offseason. It's ridiculous that he's just coming off a hip surgery, hadn't played football in months, and he's immediately thrown in. Give this guy a chance with a new coordinator with weapons that suit his capabilities. This dude is going to be a superstar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree, man. Okay, so let's keep it rolling. Chris, let's hear your final thoughts, brother.
Man, I think that Dolphins fan. I grew up in Miami, Florida. I went to South Plantation High School down there, and I'm a huge Dolphins fan. And people just need to learn to slow their roll. Things don't happen overnight. And we were blessed to have Dan Marino, but you're not going to get that in every quarterback. It's just not going to happen. And people get so frustrated because we've been stuck in mediocrity for 15, 20 years. And yeah, that's going to happen. But things are turning. I like B-Flow. I like his mentality, the way that he handles things. I'm just excited. I think I'm a very big sit, wait, and see how things turn out. You can't push talent. You can't push athletes to where all they're going to want to do is not play for you. And if the media and all this stuff, they're going to get blackballed. Nobody wants to hear all this BS. And I'm super excited for Pep Hamilton. I think that him or Godsey would be our best choice. We got to get this guy to be able to open up and just throw the rock. That's what he does.
All right, Esteban, you got final thoughts, buddy?
Yeah, man, I'm sold on Pep. Let's bring him in. Let's go and just stick with Tua. I'm not gonna lie, I was on the fence about the whole Deshaun thing. I'll be honest. I mean, it was there, it's in the air, but you know what I mean. I just don't feel like rushing is when you rush things, it makes it just makes things worse, man. Yeah,
that's right.
I just feel like it's a rush decision, and I feel like we should just stick to the plan and do what we're doing. Stick with Tua, bring Pep in, and see if he can get a trifecta. If he did it with Luck and Herbert, why not Tua? So that's where I'm at. And Najee, 2021, 18 pick overall. Let's go, baby.
I love it. All right, guys. So I'll be back tonight at 8:00 in 5 hours, and we'll be doing the end of the season roundtable. It'll be me, Dougley Durong, Mr. Ballgame, Dante Cullinelli, Kevin Dern, and Paul from On the Fin Side. So we'll see you guys at about 8:00 Eastern. And until then, y'all already know what time it is. Fins up all day, every day.